What is up, YouTube? It is the Ville Outdoors here. Today is May 18th of 2020. I am here at one of my local creeks. I just got done the AP environmental exam just a few moments ago, and now we're at the creek and we are hoping to get on some stocked trout today. I got a few spots up my sleeve. We'll just see how the crowds are. So far there's nobody else with me at this spot here. I was actually here yesterday. I didn't see any stock trout, but you know, we'll try again. We're gonna be going after some mammoths today, hopefully. I got on a bigger rooster tail than I did previously. This is a, I don't know if it says what size on here, 1/16 ounce. Usually I use the 1/24 ounce rooster tail, but this should be good as well for that farther casting distance. That was a good sized smallmouth. I just spooked right there. So if there's no trout at this section of the creek, we'll just move to another section because I got a good amount of time to fish. I don't have to be home for dinner per se, so we're just gonna keep fishing. But right now I'm seeing no signs of recent stockies. Guys, we got a fish on. It does not look like the trout we are after. Little surprise catch here. We got a plump rock bass. I mean plump. Look at that guy. He looks like he's ready to burst. Must be like spawning right now or something. That one is fat. Very fat. He should lay off the donuts right there. Alright, let's get our little obese rock bass unhooked here. There he is. Look at the belly on that guy. Very fat fish. Let's go ahead and toss him back. No signs of stockies out of this hole, so I'm going to move upstream. If I don't see any up there, then we're going to go downstream. Not seeing any stock trout so far. It's usually pretty easy to tell because you're not just going to see one or two here and there. You're going to see what's called pods of trout, since they're so used to being in like the little hatchery or nursery, whatever you want to call it, together in those little tanks. They're just going to pod up together. They're not going to separate as much as they would. The holdovers and wild trout, they don't tend to do that too much, but sometimes it still happens. So we're just going to keep looking for those pods of trout, and if we find one, it should be pretty good fishing. I don't think it's a trout though. I think we hooked a bluegill. Nope, it's another rock bass. Another plump one too. When I found the rock bass section of the creek right here. Let's get a quick unhooking on this guy. There he is. A little bit bigger than that last one. Not quite as fat though. Cool fish. Sean once again. I don't think it's a trout. Oh, that was a good jump right there. I don't know if I caught that jump on camera, but that was a good jump from that smallmouth bass right there. There you go, guys. Smallmouth. Second species of the day. There you go, nice easy unhooking. Chunky guy. Not a bad fish. Alright, let's let Mr. Small Jaw go. Trying to get my jacket too wet there. And there he goes. Guys, we have made it to spot number 2. There's actually a couple other fishermen fishing here, so surprised by that because this is one of the more secluded spots I have up my sleeve. Could be a good sign though, could be an indicator that they have stocked this recently. It's much more fishermen than I've seen here all year, even on opening day. Hopefully they're not fishing the only good hole here. By good hole, I mean like the only spot they stocked heavily. There could be very well other good spots around here that they put fish in, but that is for us to find out. Guys, we got a fish on. Fish on. It's a brookie too, beautiful fish. Let's get him up here. I don't want to. Here. Okay. Calm down, calm down. Hey, relax. Relax, man. Beautiful fish, look at that guy. Gorgeous brookie. Let's get a shot of him. Give him a nice healthy release. Alright guys, here's our brook trout right here. Beautiful fish. Let's go ahead and give her a nice release. Let's actually walk her to some of the deeper water right here. Beautiful fish. Get that oxygen back in her lungs. She'll be good to go. Look at that. Nice catch and release. So we finally found some stock trout, and that fish fell prey to the rooster tail, 1/16 ounce. Just a nice brown pattern there. Natural, clear water. That's what they'll go for. They might go for brighter colored patterns too, but I just went with the natural one just because I knew that would be what's working best right now. Beautiful brook trout. We caught one in the video that's actually going to be uploaded tonight, but it wasn't as colored up as that guy was right there. Absolutely beautiful fish. I would love to get another one of those, but I'm not going to ask for too much. But if the man upstairs wants to bless us with another one, he can go right ahead. No complaints from me. I've just been casting this spinner into this current here, and there's a couple of channels where the big rocks up ahead at the top of the run here make like this big deep hole in front of them or right behind them. So I would just let that spinner run right through that hole, and he came out and clobbered it right as I drove it past him. I saw him turn on it. He was kind of blending in with those rocks, those darker colored rocks, and he came out and crushed it. All right, so the fly fisherman that was here has just left. He was very nice. Talked to him for a little bit. I saw he had one hooked, but didn't quite get it. So we're gonna see if they can go after this spinner here. If not, then we'll try a bunch of different lures, because he said they were loaded in here. So just gonna see what we can do with the old rooster tail. If not, then we got other stuff we can try. I just saw one follow it. He looked like he was coming in pretty aggressive there. Definitely some fish up in here. It's Aglia, a little bit of smaller presentation, a little more natural brown trout color pattern here. Hopefully these trout will be fired up over this thing. If not, then I got a whole tackle bag behind me that we can go through. I'm not leaving this spot. They're loaded in here. There's not pretty much any other people here. There's one guy downstream, but there's barely any people here, so there's no point in moving spots when you have all the fish right in front of your face. So we're just gonna throw the MEPS around. If that doesn't work, throw the trout magnet around. If the trout magnet doesn't work, we throw some power worms around. If that doesn't work, we can throw something else around. Throw a jerk bait around even. The possibilities are endless. I had a trout just lick the spinner and then turn away. Interesting way to bite, but they're in here, but they're not biting. Like, they seem somewhat aggressive, but they're not committing to the spinner. So if you remember from my brown trout video, the other fish seemed aggressive too. but they weren't biting the spinner. So what do we do then? We switched it up to the trout magnet and ended up catching 15 trout. So it might be a similar situation to that. So we might just have to tie on a trout magnet here and deal some damage. I may give the spinner a couple more runs, see what we can do, because it's definitely getting some follows. I'm thinking a slower presentation is in order though. It has been pretty hot the last couple of days. Probably been a little hot in the nursery, more than what they're used to. So some slower presentations should do the trick. If not, then we'll just keep switching it up until we find something that is consistent and works. Start off with the gold trout magnet, and we're just going to cycle through the colors that we have until we find one that works for us in this situation. Trouble understanding here. I've switched to probably 3 or 4 different trout magnet colors by now. I'm getting these fish to really aggressively chase it in, but as soon as it gets into like 10 feet of me, they'll just stop. They can probably see me, but I'll give it like a dead little pause there and twitch it a little bit. Oh, I thought I had that fish, dude. That might be it. Might have to slow, pause, twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch, pause, twitch, twitch. All right, well that time it didn't work, but first time I tried that up, I almost hooked up with the fish. One on, finally another brookie. See if he doesn't throw our hook here. Got our winter hands, and there he is. Let's try not to thrash him around in the rocks too much. Hey, dude, you're not helping yourself. Come on, listen to me. I'm helping you. You're not. There you go, guys. Another beautiful brook trout. Beautiful fish. All right, let's get this guy unhooked here. We hooked him pretty good. He wasn't getting off. All right, here he goes. He's going back with his buddies. Second brook of the day on the yellow trout magnet. Yellow is surprisingly the one that worked. I was just letting it drift down a little bit more than I usually would and just tapping it lightly across the bottom. I was thinking about switching to Berkeley Gulp 1-inch minnows, and I finally hooked one on the trout magnet out of nowhere. It's the second trout of the day, brook trout. So we got a brook trout, those 2 rock bass, and that smallmouth from earlier. So good stuff. Let's see if we can get another one here using that same technique. Guys, we got another one on. This one's a bow. Nice rainbow. Look at those jumps. He's toast. Look at him. He's up on the bank. Oh, maybe he's not toast. Come on. I gotta get you in a photo shoot. Come on. Come on, Nate. Don't lose him. Yeah, I'm so close. There you go, guys. Nice rainbow. Alright, guys, we got a rainbow unhooked here. Nice, healthy fish. Let's go ahead and release him. And just get that oxygen back in his lungs. Just move him back and forth a little bit. Helps get the oxygen in just a bit faster. And he'll be good to go. There he goes. He was in shock for a second. He wasn't sure what was going on, but he was back in the water soon enough, and he was good to go. Came on the yellow trout magnet once again. Same technique as usual. So it's not always a lure. Sometimes you just gotta switch up your retrieve. I was just doing the slow and steady, just reeling it straight in. And then as soon as I start letting it drift down a bit more and jigging it up off the bottom, start getting a lot more bites. So that's good stuff right there. Our line is still in good shape. Trout magnet's in good shape as well. So let's get back in there. See if we can hook into another beastly brook trout. Would be great. I've caught a lot of, well, not a lot, but caught a good amount of bows in my career. Can I hook one right here? Came awfully close to it. I don't know if that fish had it good, but I either just whiffed a hook set on a brook trout, or he just kind of side slapped it and missed the hook. But I definitely had a strike for sure. There's one. There's one. There he is. That's another brookie. Is it a brookie? Yeah, it is. Wait, no, I'm wrong. It's a rainbow. Let's get him up on the bank here. There we go. Nice looking rainbow. Let's get the hook out nice and easy. Right on the side of the mouth. Oh. Well, not the most graceful release you'll see. But he's swimming back. He'll be alright. He got slop all over my arm though. Probably fish poo. That's great. I'll come up off in the shower, so no worries. Having a good day out here. It turned out to be slow, and then bam, catching trout. Those three came in like the last, I don't know, 20 minutes maybe. Guys, fish on. Another rainbow. So that's 3 rainbow, 2 brooks. 3 if we can, well, we put a hand on them, so that counts. There you go, guys. Nice. Another little rainbow. Beauty. This guy's not as big as the others, but he's an angry little fella for sure. So let's get him back in the water nice and easy. Should realize that he's good to go here in a minute. There he goes. Back in the water. So cool catching these fish. Love trout fishing. I like bass fishing too, but trout fishing is just something about it. I love fishing the creeks for some trout. It's great. Great stuff. Alright guys, we had a great day out on the creek today. We ended up with 3 rainbow trout and 2 brook trout. The first one I caught in the current might have been my PB, so that's pretty cool. I'm gonna fish this a little bit more, but my GoPro's running low on battery, and I think we have enough content for today's video, considering the 5 trout, the 2 rock bass, and the smallmouth. I think we did pretty all right today for today's video. So if you enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know that you're enjoying my content. And as always, the gear I used will be in the description. This is the Kunnan 5-foot ultralight 96 graphite classic rod, kind of a full mouth there. And then this is the Daiwa Ninja 2000 LT reel, Leland Lures S.O.S trout line, 2-pound test. And as always, the trout magnet. Caught 1 on the Bubblegum here, and 3 on the yellow trout magnet, and 1 on the Rooster tail with a single shank hook. So good stuff today. So on that note, I'll see you on the next episode of The Ville Outdoors.